Sperm whales are really interesting, likely my favorite whale at the moment. They're the largest toothed whale, can dive to incredible depths, and are very social and emotional creatures. This video is being made to try and compile some information about them, so maybe people can understand why I find them so interesting. Also, many people just don't know much about animals, and I'd like to take every opportunity to help people learn. Sperm whales are large, gray, toothed whales. Male sperm whales are commonly 50 to 60 feet long, females usually being 36 to 40 feet long. Female sperm whales reach physical maturity around 30 years old, at which point they stop growing. Males, on the other hand, grow differently. Until they're around 10, they stay only a bit larger than females, but they continue to grow substantially until around 30, where females begin to grow slower around the age of 9. Males reach physical maturity around 50, and the whales live an average of 60 to 70 years. Like all whales and other marine mammals, they have to surface for air, though they can hold their breaths for insane amounts of time. They've evolved to only have teeth on the bottoms of their mouths, as they eat primarily large, soft-bodied prey. They can create strong suction with their mouths designed to swallow prey whole, using the teeth for grip if necessary. Their head takes up a third of their body length. This is because of the spermaceti organ, an organ carrying spermaceti, which is crucial for both echolocation and buoyancy. They have a collapsible rib cage and lungs that can compress in order to survive the pressure while hunting. It's also the second deepest diving mammal, the first place going to Cuvier beaked whale. Sperm whales' main source of food is large squid, which they obtain by going on deep dives to the dark ocean. As far as we know, they dive around 600 to 2,000 meters for 45 to 90 minutes on average. They can usually stay underwater for around 2 hours if needed, unless they're sleeping, in which case they don't need to surface for even longer. They also sleep vertically. When it's such a depth where everything's either pitch black or incredibly dark, they rely on their echolocation for hunting. Sperm whales can actually produce the loudest sound of any animal that we know of with their clicks, reaching up to 236 decibels. Their main prey, giant squid and colossal squid, are able to fight back, but nearly never win. Colossal squid have hooked suckers, which are usually used to catch fish, but they're also the only way to fight back against sperm whales, and they aren't very effective at that. But sperm whales are also the reason we know these animals existed for a long time. All the way back in 1925, we found pieces of colossal squid inside of a sperm whale, which was the only evidence of their existence. The first complete specimen was found in 2004, when a fishing crew found a dead female colossal squid. Finally, in 2025, 100 years after its discovery, we finally have footage of a colossal squid, although it's a juvenile. The primary marine predator of the sperm whale is the orca. Of course it's the orca, it's never not the orca. But yeah, orcas hunt calves and females, typically staying away from the larger males due to their size and aggression. Being incredibly smart and strategic animals, orcas devise specific plans to hunt larger sperm whales. Sperm whales use a defensive formation where they all circle around a calf they're trying to protect, head inward and tail outward. Sperm whales' other main predator, although not as much anymore, was humans. Back in the early 1700s, humans began to hunt sperm whales for the spermaceti in their heads, which was used to make candles and cosmetics. In the 18th century, people embarked on ships with handheld harpoons to kill sperm whales. The process was dangerous, but because of the value of these whales, people found the work worthwhile. The technology and boats used evolved over time, such as the use of harpoon guns starting in the mid-19th century, and eventually much larger and safer boats. They were able to kill the whales by tiring them out until the kill was made easy. The industry and technology around whaling continued to grow until around 1986, when thankfully a ban was put into place on whaling due to the species' decline. Sperm whales initially used their primary defense tactic when first faced with human threats, that being, as mentioned earlier, to form a circle with the calf in the center. This was maybe the worst possible defense against humans, as it just made them larger targets. The whales did learn though, and began learning and spreading tactics to avoid whalers, most of which were just fleeting, but they also did include diving deep underwater and even fighting back. Sperm whales have very interesting social structure, being highly intelligent animals. Sperm whale pods are usually comprised of close females led by other older females, while males are sent out of the pod whenever they reach maturity. It was long thought that males led lonely and solitary lives, but recently it's believed they can form long-lasting friendships and even form larger groups of males. Many of the female pods are in tropical, warmer areas, and young males tend to stay in these warm waters until they're between 4 and 21 years old, at which point they will begin moving towards the poles for colder temperatures. This is because of better food availability in colder waters, which males need for their bodies. Typically, the older a male is, the larger they will be as well, so food abundance is important as they grow. Additionally, giant squid live in most places around the globe except the poles, while colossal squid seemingly live exclusively in the poles. The adult males also have a much larger diet in the colder water, expanding their tastes to fish and sharks as well. It's been reported that sperm whales can live in clans and have distinct vocalizations and traditions. Sperm whales are usually very calm and curious around non-aggressive humans. I believe the only recorded attacks on humans were during whaling periods, when humans posed large threats to them. Otherwise, they tend to act curiously around humans, never intentionally causing them harm. There was even an incident where a couple sperm whales even tried to protect a diver from a shark. Overall, these whales are so incredible, and I think learning about them is so interesting. I'm really glad if anybody was able to learn anything from this, and have a nice day.